Well, all right. I'll just let Twitch kind of catch up with itself here. And I believe that now we're live. So if you're joining us, hey, great. We're super excited to have you. This is No Pants Improv, and we're an online troupe of players that plays from all around the world. Tonight, we're going to play a format that is called Whatever Fate Decides. It explores the past, present, and future using tarot cards, which is a divination tool, and improvisation. And we'll see like what that gets us and how that helps explore the life of a person who is waiting in the wings. I'll invite her to come join us from Bangalore, India. Balasri. So if you want to turn your camera on, that'd be awesome. I hope people can see us on Twitch.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe not. Well, that's terrible because it's saying that I'm streaming to Twitch. So double check for me.
Okay, now it's on again. Okay.
Now it's on?
Yeah.
Super awesome. Well, everyone, hi. We're here with No Pants Improv. So I'll just try that one more time. My little introduction. And I have with me Balasri, who is the artistic director for Improv Comedy Bangalore in Bangalore, India. We're going to be performing with her and the rest of the No Pants cast, and also a very special guest from Bangalore, Arjun, a format that's just called Whatever Fate Decides. And it's going to explore the past, the present, and the future for questions that Bala has about life, anything she wants to ask. And we'll use divination, which is the tarot, and improv to hopefully explore some parts of her life. So I'll just invite her back on the camera so we can get everything worked out. Come on, camera. Hey, good deal. Good, yeah. So, hey, welcome. It's really good to have you. And I'm going to also just get myself sorted out so that I can show the people at home the card camera. I just had to take it down for a second to get us ready to stream. So thanks for being patient with that. Yeah, cool. So we also have with us here, which I'm just kind of finalizing right now, the card camera. And you can see that, with it, I'm sitting next to it, you can see my hand. So that's where we'll see the cards pop up. And I'd also like to introduce to you today all of the folks that are performing with us. So why don't we have the rest of the No Pants cast come right on stage. So step on, turn on your cameras, friends. Hooray. Super glad to have you here. So basically, what I'd like to do, everybody, now that you've all sort of waved hello at our home audience and we all know each other, let's just take a breath together, just like we were in a real live theater. Just if you're at home or here, just take a nice inhale and exhale. Yeah. Help us get a little spiritually connected, just like we're in a real live theater. True fact, audiences that watch shows together actually breathe together and kind of synchronize a little bit. So since we're going to be attempting this divination thing, I thought it'd be a good thing to do. So everyone at home, we're going to start off with a tarot reading for Bala about something she wants to know about her life, and you'll see how the players interact with that. So players, I'm going to have you, before you exit the stage, I'm going to have Bala do one quick thing for me. I'd like to have one of these folks, even though we all are different sizes and genders and all the rest, to pick the person that you see in the No Pants cast on camera right now that you feel like best represents you, or that you'd like to have play you if you come up in a scene?
I'd say Kristen.
Kristen, awesome. So, in our scenes today, Kristen will be playing the role of Bala, and everybody else will be playing the role of all the other people that you might encounter in our tarot card readings. So now I'll have you all step out. And it'll just be you and me in the card cam, Bala.
Okay.
Nice. Well, so glad you're here. So now I'm interested as we work. I certainly am a tarot card reader. I'm a beginner tarot card reader. So if I screw stuff up, you can blame me and just be like, stupid white guys reading my fortune is dumb. And that'd be fine. I won't be offended. But did you come with like a question maybe that you wanted to ask the cards you were interested in?
There is one question that I want to ask about my future, but I'm not sure if that's what we want to do right now. If that's not what you need right now, then I'm ready for just whichever way you want to go, and we can keep that question for later.
Well, I think whatever the show needs is what you need.
Okay.
So like, why don't you tell us what you'd like, and then we'll do the thing.
Okay, cool. So my question has to do with it's a mix of passion and profession. It's I don't know if how many know this about me, but I have a background in engineering. I'm currently working in finance. Um, I work in investing in startups, in venture capital, which is a fun job. Um, and I'm also very heavily into improv and learning and teaching and all of that. Um, I want to know if 5 years from the future, which one I'm going to pick. Because I keep going back to some parts of design and engineering. I keep going back to some little bit of finance, and I love improv. So I just kind of feel like I need to pick one or do something. I don't know what path forward for me looks like in terms of passion and profession.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like really what you're asking the cards is about your career
Mm-hmm.
and like what you like where you're going. What you're going to see from me is a 3-card spread, and it's going to look at the past, the present, and the future. And if we need to know more about the future, we can always explore it either through the cards or improv. I'm going to start mixing the cards together while you think about this question that you have about like, where is my career headed? What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And when it feels time, I want you to just go ahead and tell me to stop.
What?
And I'm just here shuffling if the people at home are wondering what I'm doing, what that sound is.
Stop. I think that's good.
Just listening to how the deck wants to be oriented. Interesting. Okay, so the first card that's up, and you're gonna see me, by the way, like look at my notes because there's like 78 cards and they all mean so many different things. It's a lot to memorize. I don't have that kind. I improvise too. I don't have that time. But the first card's actually. Oh, cool, good. The first card's actually really powerful. It's something called the Star, and it's a card that's in the set of cards called the Major Arcana, and it's supposed to chronicle like a soul's journey through life, right? It's about like big life lessons in the past, and it feels like with this in the past that you've been feeling really overwhelmed is what this card is about, feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges and like sort of uninspired and disengaged.
A little bit. Yeah.
This seems like it resonates with you. Yeah. So and it's a bit of a call to like reconnect and like look at what your purpose is, and or like it's something you've been looking at in the past, which you did mention, like to realign with like what your like daily life is with your goals, and to take some time for yourself, for self-care around that. So like instead of running around on fumes, don't do that. Or like, you know, you needed to stop doing that in the past so that you could like figure this out, essentially.
Mm.
Does
Wow.
that
Yeah.
like kind of like make sense with like where you'd been about this, that you've been sort of running yourself ragged about it?
Yes, not just about this, but also trying to juggle everything while I'm also questioning everything. It's very tiring because as you're doing it, immediately your brain is like, what's the point? And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just doing it because this is what I have in front of me right now. And so I've definitely been feeling overwhelmed. And I think I've taken note of it, which is why I've taken the entirety of next week off to just go sit at the beach and do nothing. Like that's my agenda. I'm going to the beach next week and I'm just going to do nothing, and hopefully something will come out of that. And I think that card just was bang on about the fact that I'm running on fumes, and that's the one thing that's sticking out for me right now.
Well, that makes
Yeah.
good sense. I don't know, it feels like maybe, yeah, something's gonna start from that. Cool. Let's go. Let them do that.
Guys, it's been a while since I've seen you, and I'm sorry. I know. But just, I don't think you understand. I was up till like 2 a.m. last night doing improv, and now I've got work, and we've got this test.
And then you come to work. Nice.
But tell me what's been going on in your lives. I mean, I gotta know. I want to know. Let's check in.
I think you need to relax. Maybe we can all go to the beach together. Why not?
Maybe one day, one day I should, because, you know, I really am starting to just feel really tired. Like, so.
Yeah, you look exhausted.
Vala, you just have stacks of projects and mail here everywhere. When are you taking care of yourself?
Well, you know, I'm trying to just like kind of engineer like a little like cool cubby to put all my projects in that like makes sense and like order. So that's why that system isn't quite in place yet. Also because I'm not finishing any of these projects because I also have to work, right? Like, speaking of which, gosh, okay, I have. I should be
You've
working.
been staying up until 2 or 3 in the morning every day of the week this week, whether it's for improv or for work. I can see that you're just going downhill. But you have so little energy left, and you have so many great ideas. I think you need that energy to complete your great
I think
ideas.
she's having a bore out. You don't think so? A bore out instead of a burnout, maybe?
Like a brownout, yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I
something
just,
like that.
you know, you guys are good friends to tell me this, because I was kind of hoping that maybe I could just like keep juggling and like keep going
No.
forever, but maybe I need to kind of reevaluate a little, like what
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Go to the beach.
Vala, we love you, and this is just an intervention to tell you to like wake up, because your life is right now and you're doing so many things. And I love that you love improv, and I love that you have these careers that, you know, have lit you up at different times. But I'm worried that you're not leaving room in your life for Bala, and I think we all are, right, guys?
Right. Yeah.
It's not just sleep, guys. It's like I have to decide like what I want to focus on, and that is
So
gonna be a
hard.
big journey. Yeah, but Hey, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay.
That engineering talent to use building some sandcastles.
Yes.
We're friends. So I'm glad you're smiling. I'll put the card camera back through. So like, would your friends like stage a little intervention for you, or have they done that to say like, sit down?
So I'm like a cat in the sense that if I'm hurting, nobody will know. I'll just keep it to myself. If I'm struggling, nobody will know unless like I absolutely can't take it. Nobody will know. Everybody's just going to be like, oh yeah, Bala, she's fine. And so when it's gotten really bad, I'd either have my roommate come be like, listen, you need to slow down, or like some of my friends would come and be like, you've been missing, we're glad you're resting, because it was a long time coming. So I feel like it's a silent agreement that everyone knows Pala's not going to let us know if everything's not okay. Yeah, she doesn't respond well to interventions. uh,
But you're smiling now, like it's a thing that like, oh, I've never had that happen. Maybe it could work.
yeah,
Or it's
yeah.
interesting that it's gotten to the point where like y'all are actually noticing.
Yeah, it's gotten to that point, and especially the part where I think Nicole was putting down all of my projects and saying these are all the projects you're working on. I couldn't help but smile because that's my project board over there. You can see all of my things that are moving right now. Please don't tell anyone because
Fair enough.
bunch of projects.
Well, yeah, I mean, another interesting thing to note about all these cards, including the star, which we were just looking at, is they're all reversed, which is, it kind of makes more work for me because there's a lot of like thinking about like, what does the opposite of that card mean? But this next one is the 5 of Pentacles.
Hmm.
So it's a Pentacles are suits that are often about like money and finances, and it speaks to like an end to hard times, an end to like basically financial hardship, and like a light at the end of the tunnel, essentially, about that. And it's also like a little bit of a warning, like about being really fixated on like earthly things, um, to the point where you're not appreciating what you do have about your careers. So like, to me, it kind of feels like, just in knowing you a little bit, like, wow, you do venture capital and you're like this rising international improv superstar.
You are kidding me. You got an improv job that pays you as much as your current job, and you don't want to leave it because you're afraid of what all of your aunties and uncles and parents will say if you just work at improv.
I can't help it. I really like stability. I'm so excited for the offer, but I just need to know that like I've got all my ducks in a row. I really just there's like some stuff I really would like to get, and I just need to know that I'm going to have a way to get it, But it's not because I don't love improv, because I love improv. I just also love working with money, being around money a little bit.
But you're going to be making the same. So, I mean, I just didn't realize that you loved venture capitalism ever this whole time, or not venture cap, but working in finance and all that for those companies. And now you don't want to leave. And you were the one who looked for an improv job like this because you wanted to focus on one thing. I'm just really confused.
Well, okay. So here's how it goes. Like sometimes when I'm doing improv, I get so into it. It's like it goes so well and I love the people I'm meeting and I get caught up in it. And I'm like, this is it. Like, this is what I want. This is my passion. Like, and I get excited and I see this future, but then I go to work and I'm like, I'm doing really important stuff. I'm working on important projects. I love the complexity of it. And I think to myself, like, this is my future. This is a stable future with like a great trajectory. And I'm like, yes, that's great. And then sometimes I'm thinking about my skill set, and I'm like, I am really capable. I can design. I'm an engineer. Like, maybe I should just pursue something that like really speaks to that. And each time in each area, I get equally kind of caught up in it. I get excited.
Tag out, Nicole.
Passionate.
Hey, Bala, it's me, your inner voice. I just want to raise a couple of things. What if, do you look like you're holding it together? I know you don't feel like you're holding it together, but do you look like you're holding it together?
Well, you're my inner voice, so you're the only one I'm going to say this to, and nobody better figure this out. But it is in fact true that I am exhausted, and I have decided I am going to take a week off. I don't care what I'm going
What if people judge us, right, as a sign of weakness or something?
They can't judge me if they don't know.
What if what I like changes?
As the other inner voice, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
We need to keep we need to be seen in public all the time.
And we also need to have time alone for privacy and to feel grounded.
Guys,
I don't think so. No. It's more important that people know exactly where I am. Privacy is overrated.
gotta be seen. Here's how I'm going to distract everybody. I've learned how to juggle. I'm going to just all the time just be doing this. It looks right, like
So that's gonna. If we could get the inner child in here, also, I think the inner child's gonna probably want to speak to that.
Does this not? I think
There's no time for inner child. This is your rebel inner voice, and I've been telling you the money is at the beach. We're all getting together and getting drunk and doing beach prov for one solid week. If you're not a part of it, you're out of it. Come on, be a rebel.
Yeah.
Okay, no juggling, you're saying.
I didn't know if there's financial security in improv.
Ugh, I'm so sick of you, rational voice. Ugh.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, you're all so useful. I'm gonna take this week. I'm gonna like take a moment. I'm gonna take stock in what I want, because let me tell you something. There's a lot that I need, and I feel like in terms of money, I'm right on the cusp of something really big.
If I may, on the holiday, make sure you're still working so people know that you work while on a holiday.
See, I've got to be a showman about it. But I'm also going to do some beach prov. Don't you worry. I'm going to do some killer beach prov. And I brought a really cool swimsuit for that.
If we could just put a couple more Post-its on the project board, just up there, just, the more that's up in the air, the more security there is.
Fewer Post-its, more baby oil. Sunscreen is out. Lube that shit up and hit the beach immediately.
I agree.
Okay, I have to say though, I would not work on a holiday.
Cool. So I'm going to pause your scene for just a quick second. I think that Bala had like a quick little input that she wanted to, like a little direction she wanted to give your scene, maybe. Bala, what did you want to say?
I would not work on a holiday. That's one thing that I take very seriously. My phone's always away from me when I'm on holiday. I'm not as concerned with looking busy as with actually doing the work. So I'm not concerned with how people are going to think whether or not.
Yeah, how people are going to perceive you.
Yeah. No, that doesn't feature in my work ethic. It's just mostly I need to get this done and I'm the only one who can do it. More than I need to show people that I'm the only one who can do it. Yeah.
That makes good sense. So let's see that scene again, because I'm interested in like your inner voices that go on in your mind. Of those inner voices, which of them seems like the one that you would be most likely to have a conversation with?
I have a lot of I have a lot of conversations with my rebel, my 15-year-old who kind of made the blueprint for my life, which I refer back to. And kind of have conversations, and my 15-year-old rebel voice is just like, but you're not doing this right now. You said you'd do this really cool thing by the age of 28. Why aren't you doing it? And my conversation with them is like, listen, you know what? Life happens, but we're doing this. Please just be happy with this right now and appreciate it for the time being. Let's find a middle ground that we're both happy with.
Cool. So let's go back to that scene, but we're just going to see you and your rebel voice talk, and you're going to have to hash it out and see what you find.
So let's take some of that money that you just made put some weed in the middle, roll it up, smoke it, and then like fly to Belize. Cool.
I would love to do that. And that's so fun, but I have this vacation coming up and I am not working on this vacation. So I have got to get a bunch of projects squared away, because if I leave them undone, there is nobody who can fix them and finish them. But on the vacation, I will consider taking some of that money and smoking it.
Okay. Who's going to fix you when you're so busy fixing other people's problems? I thought we had a deal. I thought we were going to get those belly rings and travel the world, fall in love, make a ton of money, and have a lot of stuff just like checked off the list by 30. You're running out of time. I keep telling you, those night terrors that you've been having, that's me. That's me talking to you and causing you to wake up screaming because you're running out of time for the fun.
Girl, I am not running out of time. I know when you're 15 and you're young, it feels like 30 is like ancient, but I have gotten so much accomplished. I am killing it on the improv scene. You should be psyched about that. I have done a lot of traveling, like virtually right now. I'm performing in improv things all over the world, which is pretty amazing. Also career-wise, like maybe I haven't gotten the belly ring of my dreams, but I've been kicking butt at work, and like I'm almost financially like all set. I mean, isn't that something that like I kind of should get credit for?
I feel like your rational voice is like getting in the way.
Excuse me, miss. We are sitting in a restaurant and you are talking to the mirror the whole time. Can you
tell this girl what you really want to say? Don't be polite. Don't be that work version of you. Just say what you mean.
Hey, everybody's got a right to express themselves. I'm a very creative person. I think on a different level, and I'm sorry if it's not something you're familiar with, but what I am doing is pure presentation. I am awesome.
Okay, would you like another coffee?
I would love another coffee. Thank you very much.
I come back.
See, if you would just like tell everyone how it is, you wouldn't have to waste your time with this people pleasing, and we could get the belly ring of our dreams and continue working on you. You're really creative you.
The people pleasing is just a byproduct of the fact that I am awesome, because I am not worrying about what others think of me. I am just killing it, and people appreciate it. Can't help it. Secondhand.
Okay, I mean, like, I know we're awesome, but like, how many times do you sign your emails thanks when you really don't have anything to be thankful for?
No, that's some food.
People pleasing.
Okay, fair enough. That's a touche. I've got some unthanking to do, perhaps.
Nice, cool. So yeah, it looks like we found like the inner conversations that you have a little bit.
Yeah. On the night terrors bit, it's interesting because there was a point in my life where I'd have a very intense nightmares and wake up. This was a while ago, and this is when I was very unhappy with a bunch of things in life. So yes, that is exactly how my inner child or my inner teenager decided to communicate with me the most traumatic manner it could find. Because clearly I was not listening to my inner teenager. That scene was really good. It hit a lot of nails on the head. The people pleasing being a byproduct and all of that. These are all things that I've actually said to myself and arrived at. Also on the talking to myself bit, I have actually done that where I
Same. Yeah, you got me.
where I record video logs for myself in the future. So I'll actually be somewhere feeling really happy, and I'm like, you know what, the best way to document what I'm feeling right now is to record a message for myself for future self. So there have been times when I'm just in a public place, like recording something for myself, and if it's a touristy place, someone from the touristy place will come and say, hi, are you video chatting with someone? Like, and I'm like, no, please get out of the frame. This is just for me. I'm recording something. So yeah, that was interesting.
That is really interesting. Cool. I'm glad we met your inner teenager. I'm gonna go flip the card camera on real quick, so that we can see the next card, because it actually had me smiling a little bit in that original scene when we were talking. It's the Four of Cups reversed. So in it, it's really about like a period of like introspection, which is kind of what you're setting yourself up for. So it's kind of like, oh, well, that makes sense. But it's also about like you were saying, oh, hey, I don't do any work on the holiday. Like I'm out, I'm checked out. And it's also a little bit of like a call to you to say like, hey, be honest about your need for like, I need a little time, but that way they know, the people in your life, whether it's work or wherever, that hey, I'm just taking a little time for me. I'm not trying to ignore you. I'm not unreachable, because you don't want to. It's also saying don't run away from the world totally. I'm going to turn this card right side up for a minute so you can see the image on it better. But if you look at the guy, he's there, he's meditating. He's not paying attention to the cups that are below him, and the divine hand is like reaching down, like, here's a cup, and he's not paying attention. So like, it's that, and cups are cards about feelings too. So like, make sure that you're really like thinking about how you feel about all this stuff. And yeah, something might come out of this scene wise, but that's what that's about. And like really trying to look as you move forward with the future about what all your endeavors are, that you're checking in to make sure they align with what your highest good is. All right, I can see Bal coming on.
Oh, yes. This is what I'm talking about, the bubble. This is good. This is nice. This is a quiet place, right? I'm good by myself. I feel relaxed. I feel like I could be on a desert island right now, basically. I am at the beach, so I'm just going to take a moment. Yeah, it's nice and quiet. Nice and quiet. Got my phone off. I've got my email closed, no computer. Starting to feel a little lonely. It's a little lonely. But no need to check in with anybody else. I can monologue for a week, I think. I got a lot to say to myself. What am I in the mood for? I guess I could just like listen to some music and dance, or God, all right, fine. All right, okay. I can start talking to myself about the tough stuff. Okay. I'm gonna paint. Let's channel. Let's just see what's going on inside of me. All right. Free association painting beginning now. Good start, bold strokes. Yep, I like that. More color. See, this is good. This is how improv is for me. Like, just like, going with what I feel. I love the way that like the colors correspond to my feelings in real time. Like, that's cathartic. That feels good. Like, God, I love this. Like, when I make something like this, I feel like I'm really kind of like very truly creating something that's like authentic to me, and that is neat. I've never kind of get that feeling at work. No matter what I'm doing at work, I feel like it's not really an expression of me the same way. So this is feeling really good. This is feeling great. But the best part about improv is like, I get to do this like very authentic thing, but it's not just me painting by myself, which is a little lonely here. But God, like I get to do it with somebody else, and then they give me these like really good ideas, and then I get to react to them authentically. And God, okay, like right now, if somebody could like see this painting, which by the way, gorgeous color palette. I just want to give myself some props right now. If somebody else could see it, I bet that they like could take like a fine tooth, like a little, and just kind of like just put in some touches because I can see there's something missing. I can see there's something missing, and I do not know what it is, and I would love it. Now, one thing. Looking at my watch now, and I see that it's been 3 days. This painting, great, all absorbing. I probably should consider, do I need food? Probably I need some food. Pretty strong. I need to go to the bathroom. I kind of forgot about taking care of those things. And, I might want to just like reassure my parents that like I'm still alive. They might want to know that. I guess like it wouldn't hurt to just like send some reassuring words to maybe my coworkers, just say, hey, I'm thinking about you and I'll be back so soon. And that's it. And then I'm back to painting because this is a work of art. Super good, but not perfect.
Cool. Well, I could see the back channel lighting up, with you saying like, oh, that feels like the thing I would do. So yeah, did that resonate with you pretty well?
Yeah, that was not being okay with not doing anything was a thing with me a couple of months back, where I'll just be like, okay, now I'm just going to do nothing, and then slowly my hand is just like, must do something, need something to do, gotta find something to do, and yeah, that was pretty much how I arrived at a bunch of my quarantine hobbies, including drawing and painting. Yeah, which has really helped quite a bit. What was interesting was the last line that I said before leaving, which is it's not perfect. Um, just before Kristen left, she's like, it's not perfect, but at least I did it, but it's not perfect. That was a typical me statement, I would say a few months ago. Just like insufferably perfectionistic, if that's a word. Um, yeah, but only to myself. Only to myself. Yeah, I wouldn't air it all out for people to see my perfectionist going, oh no, this isn't perfect. I would just present with utmost confidence, and everybody's like, whoa, this is cool. And then later I'd just squirrel away to the side and be like, that was the worst. It was not perfect. Um,
Oh man, like I think with this, like with this future thing that you're going to be doing, I think with Kristen's, improvising that she was doing around it, this time of introspection is going to be like more working through some of that and
Yeah.
working through like, well, how does art work in my life? Is it going to replace my career or not, or do I need to even decide now? I don't know, but like whatever it is, you just need to think more about like, well, what aligns with my personal highest good, and it could just be, well, what aligns right now,
yeah.
instead of, oh, I have to have the next 5 years planned, or oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I get caught up in. It's just the permanence of it. And because I have this little bit of a perfectionist in me still, it's like, don't make any move unless you are 100% sure that this is what you're going to want for the rest of your life. And in my head, I can see how this is clearly very stupid and short-sighted, but it's taking time for my nervous system to get the memo. So it's always just on edge, like you haven't figured it out. Like in the middle of doing something, my entire nervous system's like, "What are you going to do next for the next 5 years?" I'm like, "I don't know. I wasn't ready for this. Why are you asking me this in the middle of lunch?"
I
I
think
was
you can listen to your inner rebel girl voice, who's just like, get the belly ring, do the things. Even though she kind of had a plan for you too, I think that there's something in that. So we have some time still in the show, and I think that the players are excited to keep working. So as I just kind of like reset the cards a little bit, is there something that you wanted to ask, something else you wanted to ask besides just your career that's going on in your life?
Yeah. The next in the hierarchy, which is love, is something that I would like to express. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a really common thing. And, you don't have to set it aside. I mean, in my own life, I mean, I've been married once before, and that didn't work very well. And I thought, "Ugh." And then I met my wife that I'm married to now, and things are good. So sometimes, it can surprise you. Let's see what
Yeah.
the cards have to say about just like love and romance in your life.
Yeah. Love
Um,
and romance.
I'm mixing the cards right now. When it feels right, I want you to just let me know, hey, stop.
Okay.
Now?
No, keep going.
Oh, sorry. So keep thinking about it.
And stop. Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Just need to think for a moment. Use my intuition to feel like how the deck wants to be. There's the card camera. Here's what the cards say. Interesting. Okay.
Ooh, blue and yellow.
Cool.
Okay, that's the only input I have about the cards.
Well, that's fine. I mean, you got a lot of like very powerful cards here in this reading. So a lot of those like big life lesson major arcana cards that like make you think, right? Or that like come up when something important's going on. And the first card, it's reversed, so I have to do a little extra thinking about her, but it's the High Priestess.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, she's a really powerful figure. She often represents like the divine feminine in like a meaningful way. She's reversed here. So like in this, I'm looking at my notes, it's about like listening to your own inner wisdom about this concept rather than what other people want you to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Or like it's also a little bit of a like, hey, be careful about like other people's gossip or hidden agendas that they have for you about this.
Yeah.
That like snapped to my eye, right, really fast. And just like trust that inner wisdom that you have for yourself rather than doubting it. Or it's like having needed to do that in the past because this is the past. So like that's been important.
Oh, guys, I so rely on you for advice. I wanted to ask what your guys' thoughts were about, love, right? I feel like I've got a lot of interest, right? But like, I don't know, anybody tell me, what are your guys' thoughts? I don't know. You're always giving good advice.
You need a date.
Hmm.
You definitely need a date.
Yeah, I mean, I had my last relationship and, and I'm trying to rebound, right? But like, okay, so I guess like the truth is I don't know what I should be looking for. I don't know how to even ask myself. So I'm asking you because I figure somebody's got to have some ideas for me. Like, who, you guys don't have any suggestions for a guy, like somebody I should?
Scott, what do you think?
I think that person was not right for you.
That's right.
Mm.
Well, or was I not right for them? It's interesting.
No,
You know what
I
though?
think you're pretty awesome already.
Maybe
think-
somebody who is doing improv.
Ooh, but they don't. I don't know. I want somebody with like a good, stable future, and I mean, I don't know. I just let me tell you, like, I kind of want perfection. I want the perfect guy, and my friends, you guys, and also my family. Like, they sometimes I feel like maybe you guys want something from me that isn't the right thing. I don't know. I'm mixed up because I don't know what I want, right?
What about you, Scott? Are you seeing somebody?
Tell us.
Well, I mean, yes, I am. We started dating, and well, I always thought that I would end up with someone totally different. And I thought that because I'd been told by my parents, by my family, that I always had to find someone who was, had a stable career, who was
Mm-hmm.
going to support me, who was going to make sure that we lived a perfect life. But the person I ended up finding was someone who I connected with instead. Who
Yeah.
I,
I
wow,
mean,
this,
yeah, God, that's a really good point because like I feel like part of me is like, yeah, I definitely need because like I have a lot of ambition. I have a lot of stuff I want to accomplish, and I feel like I need somebody who's gonna like be there, like facilitate, like be on board. This is an express train, you know. But
Mhm.
but shoot, it's also true that like with improv, I love the passion I feel and the connection, and I don't think I could sacrifice connection really. So that's a really good piece of advice. Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna stop this here just because it kind of speaks to the next card, but good work, players. Bala, I don't know. Does you're okay? So it seems like maybe some of this talk happens
Yeah.
in your life, or it happened.
Yes. It has happened. So I gave the players a little bit of input about a serious relationship ending last year, which kind of brought into question a lot of things that I in my head I had like, okay, this is sorted, squared away. I don't have to think about it. And like all the allied parts of having that squared away and figured out, and then suddenly it's just not figured out anymore, and my brain is screaming like, what is the emergency plan that we had for this fringe case in case it ever happened, because it was pretty out of the blue, and you and I have talked about this,
Yeah.
Neil, yeah, about how out of the blue it was for me. And more than heartbreak, it was, I always say that the most heartbreaking thing about relationships ending is that you have to destroy like sort of this world that you created with this person, where it has a shared language that only the two of you understand, a shared history, a part of you that is lost forever because only that person in that setting knew that about you. I'm a hopeless romantic that way. So I do think of I do think of heartbreaks in like in very poetic, in a very poetic sense, about how I have to go back and destroy a world, a language, a history, and that's the most heartbreaking part of heartbreak.
Yeah, I think that that's true. I think that, and I teared up a little bit when you said that, but also like you did have it. It's not totally gone. It's shaping and informing what comes next.
Of course, yeah.
And when that scene was coming up, and I was talking about like decisions and choices and what am I going to do next, um, the card camera really needed to come on so that we could see this next card, because it's the Two of Swords. It's the classic I gotta make a choice card. Like you can see like the blindfolded woman is here. She's holding two swords that are crossed, and the blindfold in the image kind of suggests she can't see the problem clearly. She doesn't have all the information that she needs. And it's about like, again, like thinking about intuition and choices about like, well, what do I want to do? And it's an invitation to decide, to choose like, well, what role does love have in my life? And it could be no role right now, and that could be okay. It's just about choosing and facing it instead of avoiding it, because that's going to make more conflict later, like leaving it undecided, especially if you're a hopeless romantic.
I am. Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
been one of the toughest parts about the lockdown, because I just like meeting people and talking to them, and I'm a bit of a social butterfly when I want to, and it's so I've had to not do that. But also after this breakup, I've had to I've had to consciously remind myself that I don't have to rebuild that world. Like I'd rather take the time and I can build it on my own. There is a very rich inner world that I have for myself, and sometimes I forget that. because a lot of people around me are in really seemingly happy relationships, and there is a part of me that yearns for it sometimes. But I'm also hyper aware of the problems that come up in relationships, which is I refuse to be anyone's center of the universe. I refuse to make anyone else the center of my universe. I'm the center of my own universe. And that's a problem for a lot of people because it comes across to them as I'm not prioritizing them, but it's just like I'm sorry, I come with this entire universe of experiences and things that I love to do, and I love my own company. So they're competing against like some pretty good company. So I don't. So yeah, that's.
That makes sense.
Well,
So
hey.
what do you do, during the day? What are your hobbies?
Oh man, I do. You should check it out. I do a ton of improv and I love it. I'm pretty
Oh,
good.
so you're like a stand-up, right?
Oh, it's a different kind of humor. It's more collaborative. I'm a team person. And we do it. We don't plan it in advance because I'm an off the cuff thinker. Yeah, I
Tell me
mean,
a joke.
hmm?
Tell me a joke.
Okay, I'll tell you a joke. One time there was this guy who was a poor listener. And so I went whap, whap, whap. But he didn't even notice I was knocking because all the lights were out.
Tag out, Arjun. I just want to say that, like, you're my world, like my everything.
You're great. You're super great. I have a show in a minute though, which I've got to.
Nothing in my life was important until like you were my gravity.
I feel you. I think you're great, and I also understand what you see in me. Like I get it, but like I gotta.
I got John. I think what I don't understand is you are so clear that you don't want to be the center of everyone's universe, and yet you keep dating these men that just like put you on this pedestal and idolize you, and like how does this keep happening? I don't even.
Let me tell you, it's because it's like when you shine bright like a diamond, like yeah, there's gonna people get caught in the glare, is what I'm saying. And also, like, I have to admit, I'm a hopeless romantic. I invite and enjoy intimacy. I love creating something between myself and another person. I love that feeling of like shared understandings that no one else has. So I tend to invite a little bit of intimacy that maybe is counterproductive because I'm also like into it. And then I'm busy, I got some stuff to do. And it's hard to pump the brakes for some people,
Yeah, Bala, but I think you have a type, and I think you like these people because they treat you so well, and then all of a sudden you realize like, oh shit, I'm the center of their universe and I don't want that, right? And so like I'm just wondering,
I wonder what my inner rebellious teenager would say to me, because it's true. I probably need to like consider the bad boy option, but what can I say? Up until recently, I was on this very certain course. Like I was on the path, like the
Tag
path.
out, Nicole. I can be a bad boy. I got a tattoo. Like there you are, right there.
Yeah, no,
there you are, right there.
That is not my likeness.
No, right. I think you're growing. You're saying no to rational more often. And I gotta say, I love that you put that sticker on your laptop so people stay away from you at the coffee shops that says, I love my own company. Great.
That is a company I want to invest in, honestly, because those are genius. And also, might I just say, I have decided as a rule of thumb, I refuse to marry anybody who bears my likeness on their body anywhere, no matter how good it is, really.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. But like, the thing is this, like, it is kind of like sometimes I feel a little like, no, I feel good, but I'm by myself and I look around and I'm surrounded by couples like all the time.
But you and I are way more fun than any of these couples. They're all
That's
basic bitch couples. And
Oh
like,
my
you
God,
are so much more fun. I would rather talk to you all day long.
I know, right? Then like watch somebody spoon like the foam from like a no calf frappuccino onto the nose of some sweater wearer.
Yeah.
Tag out Anne.
Hmm.
Bala,
Yeah,
as your parent,
yeah. Oh my gosh, this look. Yeah.
we can't show our face in society much longer because we have a daughter who is yet unmarried. And I would like for you to think about that.
I I would like for you to think about the fact that you have a daughter who's awesome.
Your father's making good points. Please go on, sir.
It is high time that you settle down, that you build a home. And I don't need to remind you about the clock that's ticking. I would like my grandkids before I die.
I've made a series of images of what our children would look like together.
Hey, do you all need drinks or something? I thought this was a date, honestly, between you two, but then this guy, the older guy, showed up. It seems like he's your dad. Anyway, I just wanted to ask if you need
Inquisitive
anything.
waiter. Yes, I would like a coffee, please. Thank you very much. Maybe
Decaf,
here.
I'm guessing. Everyone around here seems to want decaf. We're all wearing sweaters for some reason.
Excuse
Anyway,
me, sir, we're having a very serious conversation. Can you please take your ruffian style and go away from here?
absolutely, sir. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Seriously.
I feel like I deserve credit for having never dated anybody like that waiter. So there you have it, right? Got some style.
Cool. I'm gonna come back because I had to hold back some laughter too because I know the next card that's coming up. But also, like I want to talk to you, Vala, because it felt like a lot of that was like that's my life.
Yep. Especially the teenager inner voice and me like aligning on things. That's one thing that I hard align on. And that was hilarious. Like I was just going, yes. And then I was like, oh, this is about me. Yes, even more. Because it just, yeah, when someone else plays out what they have processed about what I've shared, it's it's a very refreshing look because you're inside your head all the time and you keep hearing echoes of your own voice, and hearing it externalized by another group of people is just so
Well,
quite
good.
interesting.
I'm glad that that's helpful. So I have this last card that I want to show you. And as I do it, you're gonna laugh, but also like there can be a lot of like feeling associated with it. And I think that this is in the context of what the other things that I'm reading say, it's more about like metaphor rather than literal. But I'll turn on the card camera and show you which card I'm showing you, because it has like a very classic, powerful meaning. It's another big, I'll move my thumb here real quick. Yeah, exactly, the Empress. So if you've had your cards read before, which I know you have, then you may know some things about cards. And the Empress is a lot of things. She's a card of like very strong feminine power. And you'll see around her, she has all these other symbols. You can see, like, if you look super close on her robes, there's like pomegranates everywhere. She's surrounded by the natural world. Like, she's got a lot of good stuff going on. But it's also like she holds the number 3 for fertility, for like and abundance also. She's like the classic mother figure. So when Arjun came on, I gotta admit, I had to mute myself for a second because I was laughing really hard. But I don't think that this card represents like literal motherhood. I think it's more about like, in reference to like love and romance, it's more about like a birth of a new you, like, or of a new way that you're looking at this topic, and that you're using your power that you have for yourself to like make abundance happen, if that makes sense, and to take care of yourself.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Because if so, people who know me know that I'm very vocally hardline, child free. I've just always said that I will never have any human children. This is just not the kind of world that I want to bring a child into or be responsible for a child. Is just I can't in good faith do that to anyone else. Pets, yes, pets. I'm pet parent all around. We've bonded over our love for cats.
Yeah, we have.
And I just want to go back to the conversation with my parent, which was there in the last scene. That was a
Okay.
conversation that didn't happen, like it didn't happen explicitly. Like no, neither of my parents came and said we want grandchildren. It was just very invisible nudges from all sides, like here
Yes.
are some prospective grooms. You know, you should look at this man. He lives in Australia, and I'm just like, it is child marriage at this point. I'm sorry. I'm only 28. It is child marriage. You are not going to get me married to anybody. I'm sorry.
That's
Um,
fair.
and yeah, about the Empress and birthing a new me, it's yeah, I have been rethinking romantic relationships and whether I should be centering that relationship as is told to you by popular media about how the romantic relationship is the center and then everything else sort of revolves around it. I've been really focusing on moving that center because it doesn't feel intuitive or right for me to center a romantic relationship in my life. I feel like there is something that calls out to me on a deeper level, but I'm not sure which way to go. So yeah, it's getting me thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Let's see what the players say.
Let's see here. I've got two things that in my orbit. I've got this, which is the love life, the making a family thing. And then I got this, which is like my career, my improv, my things that I do. And I'm going to look at them and I'm going to weigh them in my hands. And ooh, isn't this interesting? Huh. I care quite a bit more about me. So I'm just going to put this ball down. Gonna toss that one up and leave it up there because this is what's important. I'm just gonna worry about me. I can always have time to get myself some decaffeinated frappuccinos with a guy wearing a sweater when I'm no longer basically a child, you know? I feel like there is no hustle. Besides, I've got plenty of friends. Somewhere. I've got my best friend in the world, my own inner voice, and I feel very complete right now. Mm-hmm. 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 Yep, that's pretty much that. I apparently have no inner voices that want to chime in here. That's fine.
That's like, just like as we come back, since that inner monologue scene's done, does that seem like it makes sense with you? Like that's kind of like how you
Yeah.
feel about that?
Yeah, my best friend in the whole world, my inner voice was just like the sealed deal for me because it is kind of true. Like I said before, I enjoy my company way too much, my own company way too much, almost to the point of oh, other people. Okay, gotta consciously come back to the fact that there are other people. Bala, just out. So yeah, that really spoke to me.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, it feels like both in the improv and also like in the cards, that, hey, this new thing is, you have some choices to make, and that this new thing is coming forward, but maybe what that new thing needs to be is, okay, if you're the center of your universe, maybe a romantic relationship is just an important planet in the solar system, but they revolve around you.
Yep.
Not
And
in
I can,
a creepy way, but they're just, they're there in the nighttime sky. Important.
yeah, and that metaphor also has the possibility of it's a distant planet which I haven't gotten to yet, and I have time to do my space race. I don't have to do a space race to get to it. Like that's for more egotistical people to conquer and discover. But for me, it's there. It's there somewhere. I may not be able to see it right now. Maybe if I don't get to that planet, it's fine. For now, maybe that'll change as well. So yeah, I'm open to possibilities. Is my takeaway from this.
Yeah, well, I know that you know this already, but it's worth mentioning that you have agency over your future. So if you want to do something different, you always can. But it feels like there's some good things on the horizon for you here with regards to this question. So I'd like to bring all the players back, just so that we can have everybody. Yeah, cool. For a quick little curtain call. Please give yourselves a quick little hooray, Zoom round of applause. Everyone, it was wonderful playing with you. And thank you so much, Bella, for coming to guest with us and for waking up at ridiculous hours of the morning to come explore your inner life through improvisation. Thank you so much. And for everyone at home, thank you. We're No Pants Improv, and we'd love to see you again. Our next show is going to be on Wednesday. That's 6:30 p.m. Central, and it's actually being directed by Kristen. Kristen, you want to say a quick word about it?
Yep. Chatty Cathy's. It's going to be a morning talk show. I just also like to say, Vala, thank you so much. It was so fun to play you. You're very cool and inspiring and like individual. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Kristen. I don't know, just when I saw you, I'm like, I want to be her friend, and which is why I decided that you should play me.
Thank you.
Oh,
that feels awesome. Thank you.
Oh man. Well, hooray, everyone. Good night.